Hello, how you doing? It's me, TechSnobs. We're back. Today I'm gonna show you manual mode. Alright, get to manual mode, we gotta choose M. Today we're using the S210. Alright, we're in manual mode. Let me show you how I use this. How would I adjust this? Menu, megapixels. As we learned, it doesn't really matter what too much megapixels we use, but some of them will start using processing. This is the white balance, daylight. Auto will change it to more of whatever auto is doing. Auto is its own setting. Auto is none of these, by the way. There's daylight, shade, tungsten, white Florence. This is the ISO. This is how it's basically like squinting your eyes. You see how you can't see any light? You see how the light gets more brighter? Okay, good. That's basically what this is. The lower the number, the more squint you're doing. So if you're doing a low number, that means there's more light available. So if you're using a high number, that means you want to see more, you want to let more light in. And that's what this one looks like. You'll end up seeing a lot more grain. But the highest is 3200, which is 3200. Can I focus in and change the color? There we go. Change that. Just hold that right there. We got 6802 and then auto. All right, we're going to leave it on auto for manual mode. Then there's quality. We have super fine and normal. I haven't noticed any too much of these. I just tend to just switch around to any of them. I use super fine right now. Autofocus mode, we're in manual focus. There's autofocus and there's manual focus. There's sharpness. Right now I'm on normal. There's soft and there's hard. I've not taken side-by-side pictures. Maybe another video I'll do side-by-side pictures. We got the type of autofocus that is. I'm using spot right now. There's the date and time setting, and there's the stabilizer, which I use off because I'm a badass. And then over here, gonna come to the right, yeah, we have the language, we have the frequency, which is for the display. We have the sounds. I have mine basically off and just have the volume at 1 because I was using it at night. We got the auto power off. LED flash, we actually can just change that through this button right here. We have the Wi-Fi SID password. All right, so let me tell you, I normally always come into manual mode whenever I want to adjust my ISO. So let's say if I go back into picture mode like so, there's not, I can't adjust ISO in this, can I? Yeah, there's no ISO in this one. So certain modes, you just don't have certain things, and that's because I'm not in picture mode. No, that's auto mode. Is ISO available in auto mode? No, it's not. You got to go in manual mode and you have to switch it yourself. Same thing for video. There is no ISO option in video. Each mode has its own options. So let's go to manual mode, right? Let's change my ISO, because that's the main thing I do here. I change my ISO. Let's leave it at 100, right? Actually, let's leave it with something with a difference. 800. Now we're going to change my white balance to shade. All right, another thing that normally makes something a difference is aperture. And we have a couple different modes. We have to select OK to start selecting things from right down here. Yeah, okay. You see F4? You see how the shade changes a little bit? Yeah. We're going to use the most lowest setting. We're going to use F52. We're going to go back into... Actually, let's check out what's in here. Got ISO in the aperture. Let's go. So I'm going to just choose the highest one. Everything is dark now. Okay. Let's choose one that makes sense. 400. What about more light? Okay. Balance, daylight, tungsten light, white fluorescent. All right, so that's how my scene's set up right now. Go back to manual mode, and with manual mode, but normally you'd press this button right here to autofocus. That's no longer there. Now you use a button to choose your autofocus. So let's go zoom in at that plant right there. Okay, if I want to zoom in, I go to like this one, near, and you can see it getting closer. So I guess we will take some pictures. Okay. Feel free to ask anything else about manual mode if I didn't touch on it, but basically that's all I do when I switch to manual mode. Go into manual mode, I adjust the ISO, and then if it's more than ISO, I go to aperture, then I adjust the aperture, click OK, and I change it. All right, now let's go take some pictures.
bright just like the water.
One things you guys always want to know is the zoom. Let's go check out the zoom. The screen right here is not going to do too much justice as it's probably a 720p screen. Hold on. All right, we're going to see how much detail we can get. I've once zoomed in 25 feet with this. I'm back on auto. Oh my god, that's really good. I'm going to take that photo. All right, I kind of like that. Let me see what my autofocus was like. My autofocus scan was at auto. Let me see if you guys can see it because it's still there. There, that's almost all the way. I'll go count how much feet that is. I don't even know where we're looking at. Let me just zoom out and you'll see what we're looking at. That tree all the way over there. I'll go touch it if anything. All right, that was 19 feet away. I've also taken a photo about 20 feet away. It was that tree bark right over there. Let's see if we can do it again. Very nice. Very nice. All right, let's go get some photos. I'll be back.
Just brought you from the tuna. Look at how she moved. I wish I did this sooner.
All right, for my last trick, I will show you guys how I'm gonna set up for a manual video mode. So, with video mode, you gotta do a lot of preparations. Actually, I kind of like how the lighting looks right now. But let me show you how I got to this lighting point. I first had to go into manual mode, right? Had to choose my ISO. It's at 100. I'm choosing my white balance to be daylight. Using 64 megapixels. That doesn't matter too much. My autofocus mode is on manual. That might change once you go back into video. My sharpness is on normal. Let's go back into aperture. Let's see, I'm using 5.24. all right, and I was really good whatever I saw. We're gonna go back into video mode. We're gonna see whatever changes with whatever happens here. I am now in video mode and I have my ISO. I have my aperture still there, and I'm using -1 exposure, which is right here. I didn't get to really show you guys too much of the exposure. Didn't change much, huh? +1 to -1. We're gonna keep -1 still. It looks over sharpened. All right, we're in video mode. We gotta click this to activate video mode, and you can always zoom in and use the auto focus right there. I'm pretty sure we can still turn it off too. Right? Nope, autofocus stays on. Let's see if we can actually turn it off. So if you're going to manual mode, right, it's off right here in manual mode. I guess maybe we can't turn off autofocus for video. Let's see. WDR, no clue what that is. Sometimes I use it. It might do something with high definition. All right, there's no autofocus off, which is kind of good. Gonna be a little bit annoying if sometimes you can't get what you want, but let's take a video. And we're moving away from the phone.
she move? I wish I did this sooner. Fuel's running low. I guess I gotta refuel sooner. Fingertips look like prunes, must be from the water.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Why does the mic why does this thing just give weird ass problems? Alright, so I tell you what, sometimes the mic does not work. I guess that's just a new problem. There is a thing on my screen that looks like, mic not connected, but here you are, hearing me from the mic. Let me see if I can get this to focus. I can't. Alright, so I also had to just switch through the filters to get this to work, but if anything, I got the mic to working again by plugging in the aux mic and then plugging it back out, and then all of a sudden this light might work. Very weird stuff. Just know that has been a problem so far. It's been like 9 days. I might have a mic issue. It's an internal board problem, if anything. I could return it right now, but I don't want to wait. I really don't want to wait that too much. This is it. This is what it would look like at night. This is basically all it would look like at night. Alright, I tell you what, I managed to just go into settings on the camera and return everything back to default settings. And that fixed the mic issue. At least the one on the screen, it just had an X on it, the little mark, yeah. But I guess it was just a software glitch. I have no clue, but it was just off. It would just periodically turn back on, and then it was just off the whole time. But just a very weird thing happening with the mic. Maybe it's just a battery thing. Maybe it's a software thing. I would not know, but I'm using ISO 3200 plus 3 exposure. I'm probably using a 4 or 2.4 aperture. I'm using 64 megapixels at night with the flash on. So, yeah. Solve that problem.
Car just got a tune from the tuner.
Alright, that has been it for today. That's all I can come up. I think I've addressed everything that I was once asked. Please leave anything in the comments that you'd like to see. Maybe if you think if I should do a more crazier, better job at getting different photos, I guess. Let me know if you guys want to see more quality, more videos of this. Else, I'll just be on autopilot, posting whatever is next. But that was it for today. Those are all the manual settings that I would choose. Hopefully this helped you out. Let me know.